Hello, users. Welcome to another episode of the Double Dip. Here at cinematics. What am I doing? Sound. So I'm going to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2nd twice in a row. We're gonna see how this goes. Also, hey Icky. I haven't seen you in my stream in a hot minute. Anthony Hawks, I'm afraid that this is Rune Glifberg's game now, buddy. Rune Glifberg has taken over. Let me know if audio's too loud or not. A wee bit loud? Is that possible?
Here we go again. The brother is man and man at the fact is corrupt like a senator. Soul on the road, but you treat it like soap on a rope, cause the beats and the lines are so dope. Listen for lessons I'm saying inside music that the critics are blasting before. They'll never care for the brothers and sisters why across the country has us up for the war. We got to get it straight. Come on now, they're gonna have to wait till we get it right. Radio stations like Western and Blackers, they call us a black, but we'll see them latest. Turn it up! Bring the noise!
There we go. It's up.
Get from in front of me. The crowd runs to me. My DJ is going to check. I go around the know. You can cut a record from side to side. So with the ride, the glide, some people safer than a suicide. Soul control beat is the father of your rock and roll music. For what you for which and you call a band. Making the music, but you can't do it, you know. You call a demo. But we ride the road too. What you gonna do? Rap is not afraid of you. Beat is for Sonny Bono. Run the MC for say the DJ couldn't be a band. Stand on his own feet. Get you on your seat.
Alrighty. Let's see what we have here. Hello, Hannah Harley, by the way. What does that mean? I am apparently incapable of playing. Weird. Got the glitches coming out early today. Thank you. No, thank you. Epic. That's also epic. That's extremely epic. This is gonna be a good day for dipping.
There's a place where everyone can be happy. It's the most beautiful place in the whole fucking world. It's made of candy canes and planes and bright red choo-choo trains and the meanest little boys, most innocent little girls. And you know, I wish that I could go there. It's a road that I have not found. And I wish you the best of luck here. Drop a car or letter to my side of town, 'cause there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. But baby, I'm amazed at the hate that you could send. And you've been in my entire world, but I don't have the turpentine to clean what you have soiled. And I want
What is it really? What's going on here? You got the system for total control. Now is there anybody out there? Now watch yourself or you can't go. What is it really that is in your head? One little life that you had just died. I'm gonna be the one that's taking over. Now this is what it's like when worlds collide. You ready to go?
I don't get it. There we go.
What is it really that motivates you? The need to fly or this fear stop?
Hello, Toki's Radical. What is popping?
Get there, I see humanity and drop. Now who's the light and who is the devil? You can't decide, so won't be your guide. And when my one level
Hello, Vassara.
goes in, now this is what it's like.
Alright, that was bad. But it is a double dip, so I can't reset. Cliffberg, my man. Weird. Hey, Dipper, I'm in an alley. Oh shit. Live reporting? Also, is this a visor? I just realized this is a visor. Oh my god. Yo, Rune can fucking slay. Holy shit, what a beast. Honestly, can we talk about how good Rune is? I just realized this is a fucking visor. Jesus. God, Rune Glyphberg's amazing. Alright, whatever. I'll look at that. A bat. God, what a fucking. What a dreamy individual, honestly. Just a reminder that modern day Rune Glyphberg is like pretty fucking hot, in case you didn't know. At least modern day as of like 2 years ago. I don't know if he's like gone on a bender or something since then. I want Rune Glyphberg to fuck me. Personally. 5 hall passes. Just reset. Oh boy, here we go. Stop it. Skating legend can do whatever he wants. On the fuck list? That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Vassara, for the backup. All access pass. What do you think those hall passes were for? Those hall passes weren't for show. I sent Rune a tweet once when I first started speedrunning Tony Hawk games, and he never responded, sadly. So Icky, how you doing, bud? I know you left a comment on my Caleb video, I believe, but other than that, I don't think I've communicated with you in like a year, so maybe even more. How you been? Big brains. Still spinning with 12 helmets. Something that they punished themselves with. They felt it. Vocal velvet, melt metal, excel, quick tell. Everybody in the clique to get down with the Celtic. With the belted attack raps around sound. So bounce now. You ain't got the fingers to count styles. There it is. That ambiguous cat, gritty kitty, my Ricky Raw, rhetoric rap. Piggyback my style, rip, rebirth. Cause I don't give a cuff like the F word reversed. I hear a doggy. Woof, woof. I hear too. Woof, woof. Oh, I see. I feel ya. I understand that. Definitely not fun. Hopefully things are looking up though. Gone to! That's a shame. Speed Dogs has quality content. Nice. Have you listened to much or just that Caleb clip? The goal of Speed Dogs, as far as the mission statement, is to clean up the speedrunning community. Essentially. Almost all of them. Wonderful. Well, we got a cracker of an ep coming out soon, so we're starting up an interview series. Well, not necessarily an interview series, but we're bringing on interviews as more of a functional core part of Speed Dogs. And our first interview is going to be either tomorrow or maybe, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be uploaded tomorrow or the next day, but it will be within the next 2 days. I don't want to make any guarantees. It was supposed to come out today, but I got distracted, so I'm going to not shoot myself in the foot, not make guarantees. With who? We got Stealin' Bread for an interview. The one and only Bredesen. Oh my god, yes. Yo, that was so good. That was so fucking good. Vio was the one doing the exposure. Saturn? Hello, Zombie Smasher. How's it going? Vio, former speed dog. IQ is too low to keep up, though. Sadly. Hey, Vio!
Hi! We were just talking about you, saying really nice things. We were being really nice in the chat room.
Also, just a reminder, if you're interested in choosing for Double Dip Daily, I have the secret channel in my Discord for patrons only where we make the decisions. So what I'm probably going to do as far as that's concerned is do every other week. I'll do a patron suggestion. So next week I'll probably pick something, and then the week after that we'll do another patron one. So that's going to be how it rolls. For now. You're having a good day? I'm having a pretty good day too. I actually spent a pretty significant, like an embarrassingly large amount of time in a fascist Discord debating on whether or not the Holocaust happened and how to like have a fascist America. So I don't know if I'm going to upload that because it was kind of like, I don't know. It's a little bit hard to listen to, but it might be fun, so I might upload it. But needless to say, it was a little ridiculous. I started bringing up the cons of fascism. Like, I'm trying to approach this guy on, like, even ground. So I'm like, alright, fascism, there's some pros and there's some cons. And I mention the Holocaust, and he starts laughing and says the Holocaust never happened. And then that's the moment where I realized I was going to have a great time. That's where I realized that I was in for some fucking fun. And, like, this guy didn't even say that the Holocaust was fake and, like, just a way, but he had a whole conspiracy theory laid out, and I got him to explain, like, at least a majority of the conspiracy theory, and I thought it was wonderful. Like, listening to these people speak is just incredible. I forgot, I don't need that many points for France. I don't know all the groups that do music. I'm only familiar with a few. Though I do like the entirety of the soundtrack. I used to not like this game's soundtrack as much. But I like rap a lot more now. Got a big brain. I used to dislike rap, and then I was like, wait, I should probably listen to rap. And then I did, and I think it's pretty good. I love reevaluating and reassessing my positions. Though, I still hate country music, so, in case anyone's curious, I may like rap now, but I don't like country. So I'm sticking with the anti-country sentiment. Also, that was a really bad heat. I'm not paying attention. I think country music for the most part is just like Christian propaganda. But, you know, feel free to change my mind.
It's like being in a position to get yourself lynched. Attack with the sick ass 12 inch, the metal blade serenade. Come by the clip, what's happening? This is how we took over the atlas. From the beginning, a lone rapper stole the stone cactus. What, know what the fact is.
Should be enough. Okay. Yeah, like my upbringing, I just never was exposed to rap, so. And I was a big brain, so I just said I didn't like it because I didn't know anything about it. Is this what big brains do? Is that big brains behave? People with big brains execute those ideas? The thing with like rap is that even though I like was raised in a situation where like I never really heard any rap, like it's still good. You know, like so when you listen to it, like it's pretty good. Whereas with country, like I feel like you have to be raised on country because it's just not good. You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to sound like an anti-southerner. Well, I mean I am, but I don't want to sound like that. But like I think that's the real key thing here. Is that like country is just bad. Like it's just awful fucking garbage. God, I love being an ignorant fool. Yo, Vio, were you around for like any of the other Lenny skits? Like were you around when Lenny didn't know and accidentally got a blowjob from a trans woman? And then his friends did him a favor and shot him dead? That personally is my favorite skit. I would rather listen to anything else. Oh my god. LMAO, no, yeah. God, I really should have highlighted more of my fucking skits. I think I only highlighted the first Lenny because it was honestly an incredible moment. The fact that I could just like, I don't know, improvise like 5 hours of content. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking impressive, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Can I get a Lenny voice now? I got stage fright, I can't do it anymore. God damn. All those fucking queers coming in, ruining everything. You know what they say, no such thing as a good queer. Goddamn. It's not the same without Fox here. It's the only like actual southerner that watches my stream. Wasn't, I think, if I remember correctly, I think the Lenny Gatling Boys, like, skits started when Suppalupalama came to the stream, and then said something cringe about their dad, and I started, like, going on about, like, how their dad was probably, like, a redneck or something, and I think that's where it started. I'm pretty sure that's the origin. Goddamn. Ain't nothing worse than the Democrats, that's what I'm saying. First they came for our guns, and then they came for our white children. Next thing they're gonna do is deport all white people. That was a good grind. I mean, the character Lenny is an amalgamation of every, like, experience I've ever had with Southerners. And then, like, Fox's, like, real world, real life, like, testimony, it was just like it came out at a moment where like Supalapalama said something dumb, and then that's where it was born. Like that was the birth. However, like life begins at conception, so that's why I'm giving you the backstory. I'm sorry. That was too easy, though. What the? What the? Help! No, I didn't dunk on you. I was dunking on abortion. I think I kind of understand. After talking to like a hardcore fascist for like another 4 or so hours. I don't think it was 4, I think it was like 3. I don't know. Either way, I think I kind of understand the anti-abortion thing. I think it really is just a white genocide thing. Like, I don't think these people necessarily believe that like a clump of cells is a human being. I just think they, like, a lot of them play the part for white babies. Like, because, like, I can't see why, like, a 20-year-old would be against abortion outside of that purpose. But maybe, I don't know. Because I feel like there's, like, multiple camps of, like, pro-life nonsense. It's, like, the super religious people, and then, like, it's, like, the kids who just, like, are dumb as shit. And I don't know. The white genocide thing. Yo, okay. Maybe I will upload this. But, like, the guy I was, like, debating, quote-unquote, had a really funny line where he was like, my people are being systematically erased. We used to be, like, X% of the population, and now we're only 8. Like, and he, like, I could feel, like, the fear in his voice, like, as he was saying that, and it was, like, the whole time I was thinking, like, good, but, like, I was trying to play, like, a part there, so I didn't actually say that. But fuck, it was so fucking good. God, I don't know, man. Talking to fascists is fucking hilarious. Like, it's, like, here's the thing. Like, during this debate, what I was doing is I was essentially, like, pretending as if he was educating me on fascism and agreeing with him as he was going on and saying, like, you know, that's some pretty good, like, there's a good ideas. So, like, as he was doing that, he was thinking he was luring me into fascism. And he, like, went off and off and off on all these epic fucking conspiracy theories. And it was just, like, the whole thing was honestly just hilarious. Though, I want to share a strategy that I learned when it comes to fascists. Like the white kind of, like, white people are pure, like, angel kind of fascists. Like, the thing I stumped this guy on was he didn't know what to do if white people disagreed. Because the answer is, like, kill minorities, right? But, like, what if white people just disagree? Obviously, you can't kill them, because they're white. So, like, what do you do? And he couldn't give me an answer. And he got, like, really mad at me for, like, for example, I brought up, like, the North and the South and, like, a civil war. And that, like, you know, a lot of Northerners still don't like a lot of Southerners and, like, vice versa. And that just, like, broke his brain. Because, like, he just couldn't scapegoat. And it's just, like, I don't know. The best he came up with is that there were race traitors. But still, I don't know. Obviously, there's no moral consistency to fascism, but it's just pretty hilarious. God, I fucking hate those bugs. That's a shame. Literally, that's what it was? That's what it was? But yeah, there were two people I was debating. One of them was like some like late 20s like ex-military fascist, and then the other one was a 17-year-old Christian supremacist incel. And it was really funny because like as soon as I joined the call, this part was just with the Christian white supremacist incel, and he was talking about how much he hates women and how women are pampered little creatures. And then I asked him how old he is, because he sounds like a literal fucking pimple-faced teenager. And I ask him how old he is, and he says, I'm 17. And I start laughing, and then like 2 minutes later, his mom comes in and like starts telling him like dinner's ready or whatever. And like literally, I was going to break down and die. Like, it was the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, like, honestly. Like, literally a live debate with a fucking Christian supremacist incel, and his mom comes in, like, literally, like, imagine being that kid, and, like, ugh. I feel bad for the kid, honestly. Where are the other bucks that I'm missing? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the other guy was just a racist. I don't know, like, okay, so, like, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that, like, the 17-year-old, I'm like 98% sure that this was the first time he's ever spoken to a woman, like, ever in his entire life. Because, like, he, like, literally sounded nervous half the time. And it's also really funny, I'm just gonna compliment myself, is they all thought I was, like, trans until I joined the call, and then, like, then immediately they're like, oh, this person's obviously a real woman, because, like, I'm just so fucking beautiful, and I pass so fucking well, because I'm just an amazing human. So good at trapping them. I love trapping them. It's so fun. Alright, what do I need to do? Ollie the things? I kept doing like one or two and then not the third. Stupid. Cage with tigers in it! Yes! The biggest incel tell, in my opinion, is like treating women like they're mystical creatures. Like, normal, well-adjusted people treat women like they're just humans. But incels will, like, do shit like, ooh, the feminist brain, or, like, that kind of stuff, you know? Like, that's generally the distinction. Alert, live doggy, help! Doggy, doggy! Woof! They are pretty cool. My God. Hello, MetalFix666. Am I against SJWs? Let me take this. Everyone, shut the fuck up. Let me take this. Am I against SJWs? What do you define as SJW? I want to make sure that I'm not getting trapped here. So let me, like, define SJW for me, and then I'll tell you if I'm against them. Stupid jealous whites. Oh my God. God, thank you, God, thank you, God. Feminazis, the screechers who hate anyone who has an opinion on stuff, and also Narcissa and D-Girl. I don't know who D-Girl is. The last time I checked, Narcissa's not an SJW, even remotely. Like, she doesn't meet any of those criteria. So I'm going to assume that you've never spoken to anyone who's even nominally on the left, and I'm going to assume you've never spoken to a trans person, if you're saying those things. So, yeah, that's my statement. You can decipher that as you see fit. The reason I asked you to describe that was because, generally speaking, people that say the term SJWs don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And, like, when I ask you to define that, what you did just now is contradicted yourself and gave it a completely inconsistent definition that is, like, makes no sense. Which proves that you've never spoken to a trans person or anyone even nominally on the left, and that's kind of embarrassing. So what I would suggest you do is, take a look at the people you surround yourself with and think to yourself, are these people that I agree with, or are these people that I've just been around so long that, like, I feel like I have to be a part of the group? Because 9 times out of 10, people that hate SJWs only hate them because their friends do, and they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about. Now, you can try to prove me wrong, you can try to debate me, I'm open to a debate. I'll debate anyone, well, not any time, like, you know, sometimes I have to sleep, but I'll debate people whenever. So if you want to debate, let's go. If you think I'm wrong, hit me. What do we got? You've spoken to many trans. Okay, here's the thing. You haven't. So I'm going to define what speaking to means. Like, doing what, like, we are not currently having a conversation because we are speaking different languages. So for example, you say things like feminazi, you say things like SJWs, and you can't really properly, consistently define them. So, like, that's the issue here. Like, you have no actual experience conversing with SJWs or trans people or anyone on the left, and I'm open to give you that. Like, again, I'm not shitting all over you with the intent to, like, make you run away and cry, although I could if you want. Like, if you want an actual conversation, we can have one. But as it stands, it seems like you're pretty ignorant. Narcissa is very, very, very far from an SJW. I don't even know if Narcissa's a leftist. I think Narcissa's more of a libertarian than anything. Which is, like, kind of weird. Like, her support for Andrew Yang is, like, really, really weird. I can't decipher it. So, I wouldn't consider Narcissa an SJW in any capacity. She's more libertarian than anything. As far as what I think about GDQ, GDQ is cringe. People that work for GDQ are pretty much, like, mostly pretty bad people who, like, just accidentally found themselves in a position that they're extremely inexperienced and unequipped to handle. Like Clage, for example, like, the guy's, like, some head of security and, like, he's a literal fucking, like, I don't know, just look at Clage, honestly, and tell me he's like, oh, that guy's gonna keep me safe. Like, that kind of shit's just fucking pathetic. No, she ain't lol. It was a burning fire. Narcissa was a dumpster fire for a few years. What are you saying? I don't know what you're responding to. That's not a leftist position, Vio. I wouldn't consider UBI leftist, inherently. There's a leftist version of UBI, but UBI in and of itself is not leftist. UBI is also, like, a very late-stage capitalism tool to placate the proletariat, like, you know, give them the minimum so they don't revolt kind of thing. Also, I keep like resetting when I shouldn't. Now, I have never seen Narcissa streams pre-transition. I have no reference point here because I don't like Zelda, so I've never like I've maybe watched her like 1810 for like a solid 2 minutes, like just watched a clip of the end. But other than that, I can't tell you anything about Narcissa before transition. Okay, Metal Fix. We're gonna need some sort of common dictionary here. How did she ruin her entire career with drugs, and why does that make her a bad person? Like, there's one thing between saying, like, someone, like, didn't feel like being a pro streamer anymore and thus, like, fucked around, and then saying that they're a bad person because of it. And it seems to me like you're taking the bad person route, which I disagree with. And yeah, doing weed on stream is fucking epic. I used to hate streaming, but then when I discovered weed again, like, it literally saved me. Like, I was actually going to just quit, like, the internet forever in October, but then I started getting really high, and I was like, I should probably just give this another shot. And here I am. So, God bless weed. I think people that judge weed poorly have just, like, either never gotten high or are just fucking lame. And getting high doesn't do anything. Because they're just so fucking lame. Yeah, but how does that make her a bad person? Metal Fix? You're not putting 2 and 2 together here. Like, it's debatable whether or not that specifically ruined her career. That's debatable. But, like, I don't see the stretch from bad career choices to this person is silly and stupid and bad. I'm not getting the connection here. Just a reminder, I'm on a tolerance break. This is my first, well, at least so far, if I succeed, this will be the first full tolerance break. Full meaning like a week to 2 weeks. Which, to my research, is the bulk of a tolerance break. It's the first week. But yeah, this is my first, like, really good position attempt at a tolerance break since, like, October. And I'm feeling really good about it. I love using drugs to, like, save my life and then, like, not need them afterward. God, weed is so fucking good, honestly. How could you not like weed? Like, God, you have to be such a fucking lamer. A bad influence. Okay, again, you're not... You're making claims, but without any support for these claims, Metal Fix. Like, bad influence, bad streamer, bad person, because doing these things that have nothing to do with, like, being bad. Like, can you... Hey, Fritz. Welcome. How drunk are you? What are you drinking? Like, can you, like, actually give me a reason why this is all bad? Like, is sleeping on stream, like, is that something only Hitler would do or something? Like, I don't understand what the connection here is. Like, are you just trolling, or is this, like, the first time you've ever spoken to someone with an IQ that's, like, in the triple digits? Like, what is going on right now? You're going... Wait, help? Brooke, what's wrong? What a bad influence. Oh my god. Okay, I get you. Oh my god. A bad influence?
Wake up, sheeple!
Whoops.
I breathe seeds for the future birth on the earth. I grow up from the stem of my pen to exert energies that revert from its natural source. In reverse, I'll take the opposite course to avoid the steroids and...
Now, let me present a counter theory. I'm gonna present a counter theory. Her being trans didn't necessarily ruin her career, but the combination of her being trans and trying new things is what ruined her career. Ruined in the sense of, like, you know what I mean by that? That's going to be that's my statement on the Narcissa situation. Like, if she were to have done all of that stuff without any hint of transition, it would have been fine. People would have been like, "Ooh, this is like reality TV, but for my favorite speedrunner." Like, that's what it would have been. But instead, the transition combining with everything is what led things to, like, just be so hateful. That's what I'm going to say about it. Because when people transition, like, the conversation for people like you is, oh, I'm going to hyper-analyze every action that this person does to, like, try to make them look mentally ill because they're trans. That's, like, the general, like, galaxy brain kind of position. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, for example, if you saw someone, like, whoever your favorite streamer is, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to be, like, wacky and, like, stream myself sleeping just for fun. If someone else did that, nothing wrong would ever come out of it. It would just be like, oh, look, that streamer's just being epic, like, and wacky. Okay, trans is not a noun. You don't know a lot of trans. You know a lot of trans people. Suicide rates aren't super high. Attempted suicide rates are high. And that has nothing to do with being trans. It has to do with people like you judging people harshly. That is 100,000% the only reason. For example, a lot of oppressed groups throughout history have had, like, large bouts of suicidal behavior. Like, look at slaves. Look at, like, you know, gay people in a lot of, like, extremely anti-gay countries. Like, that kind of stuff, you'll see very similar numbers. So it's not trans people are mentally ill and want to kill themselves. It's oppressed people are really, you know, just not in a good spot in society and just tend to take the easy way out. Because why live 30 years of pain and suffering to maybe get somewhere when you can just kill yourself and end it? Like, for example, LB Shro just came in the stream and just said, I'm ugly, that's the kind of stuff. This is precisely what I'm talking about. Cyan Vep, you need to go on live chat, not top chat. Like, okay, I'm going to explain to you the perspective here. When you have literally thousands of people saying that you should kill yourself because you went, like, trans or whatever, right? That paints your perspective of every criticism to be, like, bigoted. Slaves, but there's all... Huh? Are you stupid? Are we having the same like, what are you saying? Slaves, but there's also black people who own slaves? And I said slaves historically had higher rates of suicide than non-slaves. What does that have to do with black people owning slaves? Are you stupid? Also, hey, Tania. Try to keep up, buddy. I know you have a low IQ, and I'm really trying with you. I'm really trying with you. But, like, you're gonna have to try a little harder. Like, I'm trying extremely hard, so I think you should try at least half as hard as I am. But yeah, your NPC programming broke a little bit. Like, let's get back on track here. So, if you announce that you're quote-unquote going trans, right, and you get extreme backlash, like, have you ever heard of PTSD? Now, trans people, as well as other historically oppressed groups, currently trans people are, like, one of the biggest hot-button issues, so I'm going to go with this. But people that are oppressed tend to have a lot of PTSD issues. So, when someone, like, you know, says, oh yeah, by the way, I'm trans, and they have literally thousands of people telling them to kill themselves, that develops a PTSD-like kind of receptor for any sort of criticism. So for example, when you say stupid shit like, oh, trans people are weird or whatever, and like you offer at least to what you think is legitimate criticism, like you have to understand how that affects people. Okay, Metal Fix, that is an objectively incorrect thing, and that has nothing to do with trans people. Again, NPC script broke. You're supposed to say there are two genders when I bring up non-binary people, but we weren't talking about non-binary people. So your NPC dialogue is a little off. I suggest talking to your programmer and getting a firmware update. Like next time you get the chance, just DM your developer and ask for like some sort of firmware update because your programming is off. But there are numerous cultures and countries on Earth right now that have upwards of like 5 to 6 officially recognized genders. And then there are also sub-communities that like just have even more than that. So you are wrong. You can say that there are two sides to the sexual spectrum. That is a somewhat correct layman's kind of like interpretation of sexual kind of dimorphism. But to say that there are only two genders, that's just not true. Like that is wrong. Like factually speaking, that is incorrect. Like, what you're saying right now is akin to, like, saying that there is no such thing as a word, like an English equivalent for schadenfreude. Like, there's just no such thing. Right? Like, it exists in other cultures, in other languages, in other countries, with different kinds of people. So what you're saying is just not true. You can make the argument that historically, America as a culture and as a country historically has two genders. You can make that argument, but that's not an argument that applies to the way you think it does. That's an argument I'm open to. And if you want to like debate the merits of implementing more gender expansion in American culture, we can argue that. But when you start off with saying that there's no such thing as more than two genders, that's just to the point where you're just living in a fantasy world. Alright, Metal Fix. Again, I gave you a chance, but it's obvious you're just garbage. And this is why nobody takes you seriously. I gave you a chance. Like, I talked to you for what, 30, 40 minutes? Like, I gave you a chance, dude. You can't say that I didn't try? Like, come on, dude. This is just embarrassing. And no, I didn't block you because you won. I blocked you because you're saying the same thing over and over again and not contributing to a discussion. A discussion requires two people, and you were having a completely separate conversation to the one that I was having. So you were, at that point, just spamming the chat. Like, your messages are the equivalent of someone just saying, like, fuck, 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 over and over and over again. Like, it's literally just spam. When you refuse to have any sort of like open dialogue, you're spamming. So, again, it's not because your ideas are good. It's not because, like, you know, you're like some sort of renegade. It's literally just because you can't listen and you can't converse. Now, again, you can debate the merits of implementing 3 or more genders in America. I'm open to that debate. But if you start off with saying that there is no such thing anywhere as multiple genders like that, then you are factually incorrect, and going forward it's a waste of time. I don't care, Zania. I've talked to Siglemic before, and I think he's kind of a bad person.
I breathe seeds for the future birth on this earth. They grow up from the stem of my pen to exert energies that revert from its natural source. In reverse, I take the opposite course to avoid the steroids and the attack to my record. Cause it's the style they neglected by the natural physique on my way to the...
Siglemic isn't cringe in the sense that he wants to kill all trans people. Like, he's not WQ style cringe. But he's like the centrist kind of cringe, where it's like, these people have a point. Maybe we should exterminate all the trans people. I don't know. Let me get both sides of this conversation. He's that kind of person. Which I don't respect that. In any capacity, I don't respect that. Now, again, it's possible that he's like changed that tune. I'm not about like hating people forever. I'm about teaching people things so that they... I didn't get any... I think I just literally wasted... I thought I got all the Liberty Bell. I'm pro-conversation and pro-education. Now, I don't know everything about everything. So, I mean... Like, that's why conversation is good. But when you just completely shut everyone else out and just not, like, listen, it's just like, I don't know, it gets frustrating. Every person in AGDQ is the same. I wouldn't say every person. I would say a significant majority. Like, the right loves to pretend like GDQ is SJW stuff. But, like, honestly, the only SJW stuff that, like, GDQ has really ever done is just, like, Proto's kind of stuff. And most of her, like, kind of stuff has been kind of righteous. Like, people love to harp on, like, that Dan's Gaming emote, but, like, that is objectively being used in a transphobic fashion. So, like, you know, she was correct. Like, people love to harp on, like, oh, chat censorship! But I mean, like, again, it's just like when people just say stupid shit like they're useless, it's just spam. I'm anti-learning. Oh my god. Sadly, most people are anti-learning. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, there's people out there that, like, unironically think that, like, schools are liberal, like, institutions and that we should never, ever research anything. And that Google is a leftist conspiracy corporation. Like, I speak to them on Gab. Like, every time I use Gab, I run into these kinds of people. So, like, they, like, this isn't a joke. Like, ugh, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, Cyanvia. Like, that's what I was trying to have the conversation with this guy. Because, like, a lot of people say that, but, like, not all people. Like, this guy, again, has never really spoken to someone like me. So, like, he's used to just being blocked instantly or whatever and just, like, wants to complain. So, like, his NPC programming only lasted, like, so long before he ran out of material. And then just went on, like, a loop. You know? Like, that's what happens with these kinds of folks. Cyanvia, are you gonna? The plural shit is dumb if you is a meme based on a misunderstanding of how DID works. How do I still not have the Liberty Bells? What the fuck? What do you mean it's dumb? the way I understand plurality is just like people treating DID in ways that's comfortable for them. Like, I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't see what's dumb about it. That is true, Mr. Quillex. That is very true. Where the fuck is the last? Oh, right, someone over here. Right? Yo, where the fuck is the last Liberty Bell? Oh, it's right here. Now, I'm not an expert either, but like, the way I see it, and my perspective on life in general, is like, as long as someone doesn't hurt me, like, I don't care. And the way I see plurality is that it's a way for them to express themselves in a way that helps them cope with what they have, in a way that makes everyone happy. And that doesn't, like, it doesn't impact me in any capacity, so I don't care. Now, here's the thing, though, is that, like, DID is extremely complex, and there's lots of different forms. Like, it's not like a monolithic. You have DID, so here's like the little WebMD little symptom list and how to handle it. Like everyone develops DID in different ways, to my understanding. And now again, I could be incorrect, but to my understanding, it's something that develops in a lot of different fashions. And it really just boils down to like there's maybe an innate kind of core thing, and how people are socialized and how people like live their lives change how it manifests. So like the way I see it, if someone gets to the point where they like, you know, will be plural, like I don't have an issue with that. It's a way for them to express themselves in the way that makes the most sense for them. And then you also have to understand that people with DID are very, very, very like atypical. And it's very, very difficult to explain to normal people what DID is and how to like how it works. So like you can say that plurality is like a dumbed down thing about how like DID works, but at the same time, do you expect people like that Metal Fox or whatever the fuck his name was? Do you expect people like him to know what DID is about? So like that's another thing you have to keep in mind. Like, when people present themselves in those fashions, like, it does make a lot of sacrifices. And you do have to think a lot about, like, how you're perceived. Now, again, I don't have DID. At least, I don't think I do. You know, it's possible, but who knows? I don't think so. So, again, I have no first-hand experience. But I have known people with DID. And that's how I understand it. But like you have to understand as well, another factor isn't just dumbing things down for people, it's just like operating in society. You know what I mean? Like operating in society, you have to figure out like just how you do it and how you go about it. And if things manifest in a way that, like, you can kind of, like, control and compartmentalize and, like, plurality, then that's fine to me. I have no issues with it at all. And I don't mean to say that, like, you necessarily have issues, VO. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little naive, personally. 100% goals and cash. Yeah, I'm bringing it back here. This is when your age really comes out, Mr. Cool Ice. That's something like a 30-plus-year-old would say, honestly, and I'm not trying to shit all over you here. But, like, I'm not trying to be ageist, but, like, come on, dude. Again, that's something... Also, I'm gonna say that, like, that's also, like, Euro. Like, we don't have healthcare in America. That's another, like, extremely important thing to factor. Hello, Dabo? Is that a SpongeBob reference? I want to say it is. But please, enlighten me. Yeah, keywords, blah blah blah. I don't know. I personally think it's just a useless thing to say. I personally think it's a mythical. Like I try to talk to as much as many different people as I possibly can. It is most certainly a spot. Thank you very much. I win again. My superior cultural knowledge. That's just like it's a myth. Hello, Siren? Just stop. Now, this is like not just a political critique when I come to healthcare. It's a cultural critique. Because like, you know, like there is just a stigma associated with going to the doctor. And like maybe it's different in Europe, but like I've heard the same in Europe. So I think I'm past that point, Mr. Cool Ice. I think I've achieved my most of my final form. Now it's just adding to it. But maybe that's just my optimism coming back. But the thing is, there's a stigma attached with seeking help. Like, and this isn't just a medical thing. Like, for example, I heard and then like looked at a study that said that a very large reason why people drown is because they're too embarrassed to ask for help. Now, note, by the way, common misconception, but drowning does not mean you die. So, like, there is, like, a very common strain of people that think that there's nothing wrong and they can handle everything by themselves. But, like, that is a cultural critique that goes along with things. That, I don't know, I personally think saying what you said is just... I mean, I don't necessarily have an issue with it. It's, like, accurate in, like, the sense of, yes, people should get help whenever they can. I don't know, I just think it's a... kind of a duh. But in general, like, a lot of people are just afraid to ask for help. And we're not talking about, like... Because when people are drowning, they don't think that they're drowning. They think, like, oh, I just went out too far. Haha, silly me. Let me go back there. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to look like the dumbass who went out too far. When in reality, like, you know... Like, you're fucking drowning, dude. A lot of people do this with, like, medical stuff as well. Like, they'll just downplay everything. And that's just a cultural critique. I don't think that that's a specific, like, you know, people with DID need specifically to seek help or whatever. It's just everyone as a whole, people are more afraid to ask for help than they should be. And of course there's an additional stigma with being neurodivergent, if you will. Mental health has like an extremely unneeded additional stigma that's just sad. And when I say there's a cultural critique of people being afraid to ask for help, that's not like a singular side thing. That's not like, oh, people are dumb, they should just ask for help when they need it. There's also like the other side of like a lot of people don't like helping people. You know what I mean? That's another part of it. So like when you live in a society where like, say hypothetically you ask someone for help on the street, like, oh hey, can you help me like I don't know, solve this crossword puzzle or something. Generally, people are going to be like, what the fuck? I don't know. Get out of here. Like, that's the typical reaction. So, like, it is one of those things where, like, I don't know. It's solved by everyone just being nice to each other, in my opinion. Please, like, gravity, just turn me around? Like, what the fuck?
When I time travel, my rhymes plus shots with the beats that I battle. When I get in your head, my thoughts become lead. Pipes that navigate the seas that I bred. Straight through the bloodstream, try to come clean. Got intervened by a dream filled with screams. Made a 360-degree turn on the globe. But now you got me running around my area code.
Now, this is where we get to the point where, is Mr. Cool Ice going to respond? I'd say. I didn't get off track? Oh my god. Now you're just triggering me. You know what you're doing. I wasn't getting off track, you fucking piece of shit. This is the problem with your generation. You're not nuanced. You gotta fucking have everything in sound bites. Everything needs to be 20-second digestible clips, otherwise you just brain turns off. Uh-oh, someone having a nuanced, like, long-form discussion about fucking culture and, like, how it can be improved on all aspects. Oh well, let's just shut my brain off. It's okay, I know it's getting pretty late there, so I gotta get to bed soon, old man. That's a shame. The summary is what you said is basic bitch shit, and I just explained, like, just a, you know, a better way of thinking of the situation. As far as to summarize the actual content, I would say that people getting help isn't necessarily an individual issue, it's a societal issue. We need to create a society that can reasonably offer these people assistance whenever they need it. These people being anyone who needs help in any capacity, not specifically people with mental issues. We're talking about in any capacity. So including, oh, I should go to the doctor. People should be able to and willing. And then also on the other side, because it's not an individual thing, on the other side, people should be able to and willing to provide that assistance if they can and are in a position to do so. No, I never said you said it wasn't. I just was making fun of you for saying something that's just, you know, basic bitch. I wanted to flaunt my intelligence, essentially what I'm doing. I want to document, like, I'm just blogging at this point at your expense. Yeah. Let's see, will I PB? Can I actually get 100,000 points twice? I don't know. That's actually kind of hard. Okay. I hate this game. I hate this level. This level just makes me so fucking mad. Yeah, that'll do it. Yay! Alright, first dip. The dip has been dipped. Alrighty. Alright, let's go ahead and reset the console. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is a double dip. We're about to dip a second time. So the way Double Dip Daily works, for those of you that aren't familiar, is we dip, and then when we're done dipping, we dip again. And that's how it works. That's the strategy. I've been having an elongated discussion with a neoliberal, who thinks that, like, I don't, like, what, okay, for anyone here, what is the neoliberal case for a war in Venezuela? What is this? Personal grooming? Personal grooming? What? Cable? What? What is this? Oh my god. Fucking... what is wrong with these people? Alright, what the fuck is the neoliberal position on Venezuela? Like, the same people who, like, hashtag resistance Twitter kind of people, like, how do those people turn around and say, you know, all those things I said about Trump, I didn't really mean it, like, you know, we should totally go to war in Venezuela? Like, how do you hate Trump, but then, oh yeah, let's just agree with his, wanting to invade? Like, just why not? Like, I don't, like, how the fuck? Also, the average adult in the USA spends $1,500 on a month on non-essential items. Dude, like, $1,500 a month is more than most Americans make. What the fuck kind of thing is this?
Oh, let's average in the billionaires with everyone else. Look at me, I'm smart.
This is the rich critique that, like, capitalism is about working hard and being diligent and having self-control, which basically translates to you should never, ever, 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 ever in your entire life ever think about having fun in any capacity before you turn 60. Then start thinking about fun. That's what this is. Like, you have to understand that, like, this stuff isn't parody. Like, the fact that articles like that can get published and we still haven't had a revolution is ridiculous. Like, think about it. Think about it. These are the people that control our society. They think grooming is non-essential. These are the people that control our society. Like, how the fuck can anyone be okay with that? I don't understand. What is the fucking... How do you do that? How do you go like, yeah, there's no problem here.
I'm gonna be a good little drone. I'm gonna go to work. And then I'm gonna go home and go on Twitter and talk about how much I love my boss. I'm a good little drone. Maybe I'll get a promotion next decade. If I keep working at it, maybe I'll get a promotion. Maybe my son will get a promotion. Maybe if I work here so long, and then my son will work here, and everyone will know that my son because of my work, and then maybe my son can have a good life. Because, well, I should never have a good life because, well, wait a second.
Like, these are the kinds of people that go like, ooh, just don't buy coffee every day. Like, yeah, I agree, people shouldn't buy coffee every day. I agree, people that buy, like, shit at Starbucks are kind of silly. Sure, I agree. But, like, people want things in their life that can make them fucking just enjoy life. Like, if everyone did this fucking non-essential spending plan, like, we would have a revolution in, like, a month. Like, literally, we would have a violent revolution, like, very quickly, if everyone gave up their fucking quote-unquote non-essential things. Because honestly, this is the stuff that placates a lot of people and just go, and they just, like, dull down and just deal with it. Are these very same things that the capitalists say we shouldn't have. Like, imagine how angry, like, people are angry now, and, like, imagine how angry people would be if no one went out on dates, no one ever left their house, no one ever had any sort of alcohol, weed, or any sort of any medication or recreational drug that just, you know, makes them have fun once in a while. Like this shit is just, you literally have to be dumb to think that this is okay. And I'm not talking about the people that wrote it. I'm talking about the people that, like, would read that article and go like, oh, there's nothing wrong there. Hey, Nintendo fan. Like, these people are evil. These people in this context being the people that write that stuff. I wouldn't say that the people, like, the working class, like, Trump voters that, like, hate Muslims, I wouldn't, well, I mean, I would say it's a debatable case on which ones are evil, but I wouldn't by default call them evil. But every billionaire and most millionaires are evil. And I don't see any sort of counter. Well, okay, yeah, like I said, every single billionaire is evil. Those are, like, synonyms. Anyone who disagrees is stupid, uneducated, and needs to get their shit together. Hey, Rolando. Like, I really don't understand Republicans. Like, how the fuck do Republicans even think that, like, they're anti-establishment? You know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck do these people come up with this shit? I'm anti-establishment. That's why I believe in the things that have been going on in, like, society for the past few thousand years. I'm gonna shake up the system by implementing the same exact shit that we've been doing for fucking centuries. That's a great idea. Wow, this guy's a revolutionary. Like, I don't fucking get it, dude. Like, where the fuck do these people, like, where is this thing as, like, right-wing, like, how, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, Jesus Christ, they're so stupid. They're so fucking stupid. I hate fascists. I hate incels. I hate all these working class, non-rich fucking right-wingers. They're just so fucking dumb. They're just so fucking goddamn stupid. Like, geez, can you stop LARPing about Jews and just fucking start understanding, like, how capitalism is fucking you? Like, it's not hard. It's in your fucking face, dude. It is literally in your face. And these people are just delusional. They're fucking delusional, fantasyland, fucking emotional fucking creatures that don't fucking exist in reality. And I'm gonna say that, like, I think I kind of understand that, like, the incel is just someone who's literally never left their house. Like, and I do think that there is a critique of the left in a sense that can kind of contribute toward this kind of behavior. Because, like, what do I do when I see an incel? Like, my gut reaction is just to make fun of them because they're fucking pathetic. But in reality, like, you know, these are people that, like, need help. Like, this is a very, 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 very peculiar but very distinct kind of extreme disorder. Like, these people need help. And, like, we don't really have a society that's so, like, good to them. So, like, I don't know, like, because they're so fucking goddamn stupid and, like, self-deprecating, because that's the whole idea behind being an incel, is you hate yourself and, like, you don't think you're good enough. Like, that's the whole basic fundamental ideology. Like, I don't know, it's just a severe form and severe, like, branch of, like, depression, the way I see it. Now, again, I'm not saying that these people obviously should be forgiven or you should sympathize with them. Incels are terrible creatures. But, I mean, it's one of, like, a cultural critique of, like, you have to understand that, like, the reason why incels exist is literally, it is a mental health issue. Like, in a world where we actually valued mental health the way we should, incels would not exist. Just straight, like, they just wouldn't exist. Or, like, at least they wouldn't be as prevalent. It wouldn't be to the point where, like, I know what an incel is. You know what I mean? It would be, like, how I thought about incels, like, you know, 10 years ago. Just, well, I don't know about 10 years ago. I didn't even really know what sex was 10 years ago, but you know what I mean? That's a shame. That's the thing, Brooke. That's the thing. Like, the problem with incel culture is that the sub-community that developed from incel culture is one that's just like, it literally is like how people view, like, trans people. It's like that critique of, like, oh, we're living in a fantasy land. It's that critique, but unironically, is the incel community. Like, they construct a false reality and then live in that reality. Like, we're like, incels think, like, ooh, all that matters are your cheekbones. Like, who the fuck, like, literally, how fucking, like, devoid of any social experience do you need to be to think cheekbones are the only factor in fucking the sexual marketplace? Like, Jesus fuck, dude. Like, even at my most sheltered, I never could believe things like cheekbones deciding the fate of, like, how people are. And it's just like, the fact that people actually think this stuff is just bizarre to me. Nah, Mr. Cool Ice. The thing is, I'm self-aware about it. Like, I'm not a mental health expert. It's not my role. I acknowledge it, and I will, like, I've said this stuff to incels. Like, I said this to incels literally today. Like, I can open incels. Like, I can start with, like, sure, like, I understand where you're coming from, but, like, the conclusions you're drawing is shit. The problem with incels is most of them are, like, in the made-up mind kind of terrain, where, like, literally anything you say to them, especially if you're a woman, and double especially if they know you're trans, is like, none of it matters. So, like, I am literally in a position where I have nothing to do. Like, I guess, theoretically, I could stop, like, making fun of them, and then that would, like, ruin what they think of, because they think that, like, all women hate me or whatever. Like, theoretically, I guess you can make that argument, but that's not something that's done on an individual level. And until we have, like, a culture and society that would, like, I don't know, be privy to that, I'm going to continue making fun of incels. there's also the value of mockery, because like there are a lot of like incels are a very decentralized group of people. So it's like there's the incel, like the kind of people who like again like view women as like they should be sex slaves and we should socialize the distribution of women and that kind of stuff. Like those people exist, but a lot of incels don't even know what incels are, and they just like are like people that just can't get laid. And like those are the kind of people you need to deal with before they turn into incels. And I'm gonna be honest, I think legalizing prostitution is like a very, 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 very effective way to get at the root cause here. Yo, Mr. Cool Ice, for real? Like again, I spoke with a group of incels today, and again, like half the conversation they weren't sure if I was trans or not until they just like reverse image searched my profile picture and then doxed me. But like, so half the conversation they assumed I was a cis woman. And like it's fascinating because they literally just like they don't view me as like an actual human. Like they literally treat women and then of course any minority as if like they're a subspecies. And it's like in reality, like you're the person who can't get fucking laid because you're just fucking lame. In the generation of Tinder and the generation of fucking like all this shit, where all you need to do is just like say, "Wah, I'm gonna get laid," and then it's that easy. Like I can't accept like the incel, like the I hate women version of incels. Like seriously, how do you get to age 30 and have a seething hatred for women and like really want to get laid? You know what I mean? Like that shit's just fucking weird. Like I can understand people that like grow old and just have no interest in it or just don't feel like pursuing it. That's fine. And those people that like don't turn into violent psychopaths, like that's fine. Like who cares? Do what you want to do. But it's like the whole like women should be like in sexual slavery like realm of incels. It's just so fucking weird. And then it's like these people are also like the thing with incels is that they do have a lot of socialist tendencies in the fact that they like understand inequality. It's like, oh, my cheekbones! Like, they have, like, obviously propagandized versions of the world, but they understand inequality. They understand that, like, there's an elite class of, like, super attractive people that are gonna have sex a lot more. So it's like, I feel like it's good ground to, if we have a cultural perspective that, like, can bring these people into it, that, like, I think it's possible that, like, we can fix this stuff, but, like, we need to start at, like, you know, not having people like Donald Trump and, like, Theresa May existing. Like, we need to stop them existing. Like, that's goal number one. They need to cease. Because things can't get fixed until, like, culture is just, like, fixed, like, as a whole. And I'm not saying, obviously, like, oh, Tony Blair and fucking Obama, yay! Like, that's not what I mean by that. Like, obviously, there's more deep-rooted culture, like, cultural issues going on, but, like, getting, like, the obvious fascists out of their positions of power, Trump, Bolsonaro, like, all these kinds of people, getting them out as soon as possible is, like, priority number one. Because if we have, say, Bernie Sanders, Jeremy Corbyn, like, these people as leaders, these people are just good people, and they're more susceptible to helping people. And if we have a culture where, say, every medical thing you'd ever imagine is free, including mental health, and like everyone is nicer to each other and there's more resources, things like incels just wouldn't exist. Like, people are right to say that culture is divided. Now, obviously, I'm not equating, because to say that, like, a feminist who, like, calls an incel a fucking loser and, like, the incel who wants to murder all women, they're not the same, obviously. But, like, things are divided, and, like, the easiest way to fix that is to just get good leadership. And we have such an easy pathway to do that. When I say easy, I mean, like, literally, like, there are people in positions of power that just need a little help. Like, I'm talking about, like, the Corbyn Sanders kind of people. Like, it's not like we're at a point like we were 10 years ago, where it's like, ooh, if you even hint at Medicare for all, in America you're seen as a fucking psycho who should just like get the fuck out of like America and shit. Like we don't live in that kind of society anymore. So like all we have to do is the final step. Well, the final step to like starting to get on the right track, and that's like the hard part, is like we are so fucking off course. We are so off course. It's like the idea that a lot of people say is that like Trump is going backwards and like Obama is staying in the same spot, you know? And that's something that like you need to kind of think about. Like the way our society's been going over like since Trump's been elected has literally been going backwards. And whereas like Obama, like that kind of like neoliberal shit has been festering all the problems without actually fixing things in the roots, like the root causes. So the idea is to fix those root causes, but in order to fix those root causes, like we're gonna have to start by getting these people out of here. Pray for Canada. Yeah, unless we see a global turnaround, Canada's probably gonna be next. I don't know. Hey, Kaneko. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's so easy to just say, like, racists are terrible people, like, that kind of stuff. But I mean, when you say that, but then provide, like, literally no cultural support for people that feel... Like, again, a lot of people are racist because they've just been brainwashed into thinking Mexicans are stealing their jobs. Like, that's why a lot of people are racist. Because Fox News has just told them, the Mexicans, the Mexicans, the Mexicans. And we don't have a good fucking, like, actual counterculture. Because, like, what else do we have? CNN, which is just, like, fucking Fox News light. Like, oh, it's the Russians, oh, the rich people are great. Like, we don't have an actual answer that's, like, easily accessible. And we're getting to that point. Like, we're very close to that point, as well as the like, invention of the internet is also extremely useful into bringing all these things together. Like, I can see a world, like, 5 to 10 years from now where, like, there's, like, global, like, internet, like, worker solidarity. And, like, there's, like, a giant, like, class revolution, not in, like, a violent fashion, but, like, where you start seeing a bunch of, like, socialist people getting elected. That's totally within reach. It's just a matter of, like, curating that and getting to that point. Which, like, the too far gones, you don't get them. Like, you don't start with them. Those people are picked up last. You start at the centrists, the people that don't know anything, but like the privileged folk that like you can kind of convince, and then like you get like workers who like kind of understand but don't really understand, and you kind of like dumb everything down. Not trying to say that in a rude fashion, but make it like digestible, because like you have to keep in mind we live in a fucking culture, especially in America, and I understand Europe is different. Like Europe is more of like kind of everyone kind of gets educated versus, I don't know. Europe has more emphasis on education, and I understand that. But in America, for example, there is like the fact that college costs money is ridiculous. And the fact that they teach you nothing at all of value in high school is ridiculous. Does that make me a globalist? Damn fucking right it makes me a globalist. Globalism and proud, hell yeah. But like, we start with the people that we can easily get. And that's like working class, like people that aren't like too far gone. The people that don't post on Gab, but like would say shit like, you know, like, ugh, I'm tired of Mexicans, just because like they don't know what else to say. We need to provide an answer for those people. And once we have an answer for those people, that's when we get like the Corbyns, the Sanders, like those kinds of people. That's when we get them involved. And once we have that kind of like basis to work with, like how much easier do you think this shit would be if we had Bernie fucking Sanders in the White House, utilizing the bully pulpit and saying like, yo, Jeff Bezos, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Fuck off? Like, imagine a world where presidents, like, look at everything Trump does, but imagine that, but like with Sanders kicking the shit out of fucking Jeff Bezos. Like, that's what we need. You know what I mean? That's like, that's what it is. That's what like we need to get. That's the baseline that we need to get before we can start even thinking of tackling the too far gone incel crowd. Like, that shit is just like, it's worth understanding a lot of how they function, which is why I try to like, I don't know, I like communicating with them, I like reading their shit, because it's worth trying to like at least understand their perspective from like, you know, like what I'm saying in here to try to understand like the basic goal and roadmap kind of stuff. But like, there is no helping an incel right now, and that's just like someone that like grows up. Like, keep in mind, like, I spoke to a 17-year-old incel today. A 17-year-old incel? Now, like, I grew up without internet until I was, like, 12. And I didn't have great, like, I wasn't raised great. And, like, the internet kind of, like, raised me in a lot of fashions. And, like, but, I wasn't completely fucking brainwashed. But, like, imagine, like, you start using the internet when you're, like, 8, when you're 7. And it's just like all right-wing echo chambers. Like, the fact that a 17-year-old can be an incel is wild to me. You know what I mean? Like, that is wild to me. Like, I can understand a 17-year-old, like, not like, you know, being a virgin, but being an incel, like wanting to enslave women, like that kind of stuff. Like, that only happens when you let things fester. And you provide like a space for these people to retreat to. And this is why deplatforming is so important. And yeah, I'm gonna get into this part. Is like when you see people like fucking Sargon of Akkad like run for elections, being such an awful human that he is, like it gives that like sense of normalization to a lot of people that's like, oh yeah, I think these kind of weird things. Oh, it's okay, I have a place to go to. I can go somewhere and say this awful, heinous, awful garbage, and people are going to accept me? Like, that's what it boils down to. And that's what deplatforming is all about. It's about saying that those ideas are unacceptable. Because they are unacceptable. Now, I never had a relationship in high school. I was a virgin until like less than a year ago. Like, keep this in mind. Like, I don't know what to tell you. People like also think of sex as if like it's something that it's not. Like, don't get me wrong, sex is really good. Like, it's really, really, really good. But like at the same time, it's not everything. Like, there's more to life. So, like, I don't know. A 17-year-old incel, like, the more I think about that, like, that is just depressing. How do I open that? Oh, I have to get all the subway tokens. I forgot I didn't get them all. Really? What, really? What are you responding to? Deplatforming is viable. However, the approach... So, like, right now, the de facto deplatforming approach is to just, like, spam email one central authority that wants to virtue signal. Sargon isn't running. He's currently, like, right now, running for office. It's not he ran for office. He is running for office right now. Now, he obviously has not, like, really any chance of winning. He's just doing this. Like, I don't know, the fact that UKIP even exists, just, like, and they're like, yeah, sure. Alright, Sargon, come on! Like, the fact that, like, he can even get into, like, a political party is just... Holy shit. Holy fuck. But yeah, this is why I skew toward anti-fascism, because, like, anti-fascism, like Antifa, that kind of stuff, is a decentralized solution. Like... It's all about, like, neighborhood watch style, like, community policing, like, within the community. Like, it's about, like, there's no class difference. Like, everyone is working together to make sure that everyone is safe. which is the fundamental like philosophy of anti-fascism, is it's literally just neighborhood watch. Like, that's all it is. So like, that's the idea. Now that's harder on the internet. The internet honestly is like the case study, like being able, like quote unquote true free speech, like whatever you want to think that is, like being able to say whatever you want and knowing that no one will ever do anything to you. Like, for example, you swat someone using like the Tor network, like that kind of stuff, and you'll never be tracked. Like the power that gives people, I don't know, that's still something that I can't even comprehend. Now again, I'm not a super genius here. I'm not trying to claim to be a super genius, but like I can't even begin to start. I don't know. What barrier is there? I don't know, honestly. I don't know enough about the actual election standing. All I know is that UKIP usually does pretty poor, and that he's running for EU Parliament, which is like, I don't know. All I know is he doesn't, like, it's possible theoretically, I guess, that he could win, but I don't think so. One of the problems with the internet is that as it stands, like, the right has literally taken almost complete control of the internet. As much as, like, the right-wingers want to say that, like, the internet and social media is all lefty shit, like, you know, that obviously is fan fiction. The right has, like, such extreme expertise in brainwashing. And the problem is just because, like, it literally boils down to just who had the money. Like, who had the money when the internet was being created? When things on the internet were being established, who had the money? Not poor people, not leftists. All the fucking rich folk. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people in there that, you know, the lucky few who, like, got rich and, like, are success stories. Like, obviously, that exists. But I mean, as a global, like, overall average, yeah, it's mostly rich people. Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, though. All I know is that there's another thing that, like, I don't know, people don't really understand enough. And that's that there is nothing different between... And you'll see where I'm going with this. There is nothing different between the modern era and, like, you know, 1943. Like, people seem to think that, like, oh yeah, we fixed Nazis. Yep, we solved the problem. Like, that kind of stuff. People seem to have this weird notion that, like, we live in a world that's, like, post-hate. Like, oh, we have the Civil Rights Act that solved racism. Like, that's one of the issues, is that a lot of people just, like, I don't know, they just think that the times we're living in are just somehow mysteriously, magically, completely detached from the rest of human history. And it's like, no. Like, human history has all led up to this moment, and if you just read, like, history, you'll understand how we got here and why we got here, and you'll understand a basic way of, like, what you need to do to, like, not, like, destroy the fucking planet. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. The internet is, like, that's another thing, is that, like, the right has co-opted the internet, but the internet is inherently, like, an extremely powerful tool for leftism. It's just that it hasn't been utilized properly yet in any grandiose fashion. Like, again, look at Trump and the stuff that Trump has done and just imagine that it's Bernie Sanders. And just like think about how like someone with that much power but not a psychopath and someone that wants to actually help. Like, I don't know. I don't know. People who think that everything is fine, I don't know. It's cringe. Like the people that go like black race, like white on black racism doesn't really exist and it's mostly everyone on white racism. Everyone hates white people. We're so oppressed. The state wants to silence me and censor me for being white. Guys, hey guys! Donald Trump is in the White House and yet somehow the state is still censoring white people because that makes sense. Ah, guys, help! I don't know, these people live in a fucking weird alternate reality. Anyway, this level sucks. These bugs suck. This is the single worst thing in the entire game, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what the age range is in here right now, but I'm assuming we don't have anyone over the age of 50. But, like, imagine you're 50 years old, and you've had the same job since you were, like, 16. Like, think about that scenario. Like, how is that not a breeding ground for socialism? Like, explain it to me. Like, imagine hypothetically you're 50 years old, you've had the same job since you were 16, you hate it, but it's the only job you ever had, and that's it. Like, that's a breeding ground for socialism. It's just a matter of actually doing it and actually, like, organizing something that works to, like, educate these people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brooke. Exactly. Like, it's not like we live in a post-racist... Like, I just don't understand how people think that we live in a post-racist society. I can understand how people would think that, like, you know, certain things don't really mean anything. I can get that. But, like, the kind of people that go, like, literally, like, they actually say that there is no such thing as anti-black racism. Or, like, anti-Muslim, like, racism. Like, that kind of shit. Like, the fact that those people exist is just wild. It is wild. It is, like, how? How do you, like, help? You know what I mean? I need help? I can't imagine going and saying shit like, you know when, like, Amazon was gonna go to New York and then they pulled out because, like, there was like protests and shit. I can't imagine being the kind of boot-licking cuck that goes like, "Oh, Amazon's beautiful! Amazon's bringing jobs, and Jeff Bezos is gonna rain money on everyone and help us all!" Like, imagine actually thinking that. And when I say actually thinking that, I mean not just typing it, because a lot of people that say that shit are propagandists. Like, you know, a lot of people on TV and a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like that, a lot of that is just propaganda. Propaganda. But like, imagine being like a New York resident who like watches Fox News and goes like, "I hate AOC, how did she steal all those jobs?" Like that kind of shit. I just imagine. Like imagine like waking up, going to Amazon, getting shit fucking pay, barely any breaks, so forth and so forth, and then going, "Yay, Jeff Bezos is saving my life!" Like, holy fucking... I just... Shit's wild. I'm gonna buy extra Ollie. This is stupid. Anyway, I've been talking for like 10 minutes without a single chat message. What do y'all think? Is this the part where everyone tunes me out because I'm just going on another one? I understand. Not even close. This is a really bad New York, holy shit. The only answer? I mean, I have not heard an alternative answer. That sounds good to me. As someone in the bottom fucking rung of this fucking... Well, not the bottom rung. I don't want to overestimate myself here. But as someone near the bottom rung. Like, what other option? I don't know what the other options are. Anyone who thinks Jeff Bezos deserves $160 billion in his fucking, like, net worth is just like, that's ridiculous. That's my fucking problem with, like, fascists that, like, really, really hate Jews. Because it's like, all the critiques they give against the Jewish people, it's like, a lot of those critiques are good critiques, just misplaced for no reason. Like, why would you say, like, fucking, I don't know, Benny the Jew down the street that, like, works at the local deli is as equivalently awful as, like, I don't know, fucking some rich dude who, like, has $10 billion and, like, fucking enslaves a bunch of people for, like, child labor in their fucking chocolate factories or whatever? Like, how can you make that equivalence? How can you just say, yep, all Jews are evil? Like, what the fuck? Like, how stupid do you fucking have to be to say that shit? Like, what the flying fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to just say, like, yeah, Jeff Bezos shouldn't have more money than, like, everyone else I know combined. Like, that is so fucking easy. Like, it's not like this is a galaxy brain thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's all about perspective. Like, we can teach people this kind of stuff. Like, you don't need to be a galaxy brain academic to understand. Isn't it kind of weird that 1% of the people on the planet control literally everything? Isn't that fucking weird? Isn't that strange? I personally think it's strange. I don't know why you wouldn't think it's strange. But instead, these stupid fucks just want to focus on their dumbass conspiracy theories. Ah, the Jews! The Jews! Like, Jesus. Like, what the fuck? Like, the problem with conspiracy theory nuts is that, like, it's such wasted fucking, like, potential. Because these are people that will do so much research, so much studying. Obviously, you have to study so much if you count 99% of, like, history fake. Like, if you say things like the Holocaust doesn't happen, you need to really, really look for stuff to base your conspiracy theory on. You know what I mean? So it's like, these people are such wasted fucking potential. It's such wasted potential. When the answer is just out in the open. Jeff fucking Bezos. Bad. Like, that's such an easy no-brainer. I just don't fucking get it. Like, it's not like we have a lack of bad guys. You know what I mean? It's not like there's some bad guy deficit. Oh, we need some more bad guys. We don't have enough. We have Jeff fucking Bezos. Like, what the fuck? Like, how does Jeff Bezos exist? Like, how does he just have a house that's not, like, on fire constantly? Like, how? How is that possible? I don't know. These people are fucking wild.
Jeff Bezos is gonna give me my job. Without Jeff Bezos in my life, I'd never be anything. Amazon saved my life.
Oh yeah, Amazon does, like... Okay, here's another thing. Here's another thing I need to talk about for people, because a lot of people that, like, I feel like maybe currently listening don't understand how big Amazon is. Like, I've known what Amazon is for, like, I don't know, 5-10 years, and I've used it, like, infrequently, and I also have used it frequently over the course of those, like, many years. So, like, to me, Amazon is just like, yeah, they've just been around for a while. But, like, the last 3-4 years particularly, Amazon has been, like, buying up everything, like, controlling and monopolizing so many corners of the fucking market that, like, no one just knows. They just go like, oh yeah, Amazon.com, that's where I buy my picture frame, because, you know, it's on sale on Amazon. 2-day shipping for my picture frame. Yay, Jeff Bezos. Like, that's what most people see Amazon as. But in reality, like, For example, another thing is like because all these like a lot of like cable companies will own different networks and channels, so like no one really knows that it's like a literal fucking dozen companies that control our media. No one, like not many people know that. They go like, "Oh, I've got 200 channels on my television, so I don't know what you're talking about." Like Amazon isn't just Amazon. Amazon is so much more that people just don't understand, and even I don't even understand the most of it because a lot of it is just kept so secret. It's wild. Amazon is fucking wild. A lot of 2017 and 18 I had to rely on Amazon for grocery delivery because it was just the cheapest alternative. And like that's another thing that like Amazon does, and that this is just like the capitalism thing, is that like Walmart, for example, like you just go to Walmart because it's cheaper and you're poor so you can't afford anything more. Boom, we got a problem. That's an issue. It's an issue when you can't support local businesses. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello? Wait a second. How did you not tell me about this? Link? I'm rational? I'm glad people think that. I am a very rational user. You know, honestly, like, I have a very good amount of chasers right now, but like, I'm surprised that like, I haven't been getting more. Maybe it's just because I'm not on Twitch. I feel like if I streamed on Twitch, I'd probably get a lot more chasers. Yes, that's my ego talking. Also changed my mind, prove me wrong. One, literally 10 out of 10. I'm gorgeous. Like, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that that's indisputable. Two, I'm only 22 years old and I'm already smarter than everyone else in this chat room combined. Like, I'm only 22. Imagine me when I'm like 25. Like, Jesus fuck. Like, you know, like the theory of like how AI, like the singularity, and how like we're gonna create AI that's like eventually going to be so smart that it creates more AI. That's basically me. I'm basically the singularity. Like, I'm so intelligent that I just get more and more intelligent that by the time I'm 30, like, I'm going to be just like a literal galaxy brain. Like, the fact that I don't have armies of chasers is a little ridiculous. And honestly, like, I don't know. I need to change something. I need to do something because I need more attention. Should I clip that? The problem with doing this during Tony Hawk is like anything I'd upload would have the fucking music in the background and then like automatically copyright claim. This page doesn't even function for me. It doesn't work in Brave? What? Okay. Darn shame. But yeah. And I see no one is debating the things I said about myself, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that everyone agrees. I'm going to also assume that Mr. Cool Ice is attempting to smile, but the fact that he's so socially fucking anxious and isolated and has no experience in the real world means that he can't actually make a proper smile, and thus looks like a 3-year-old in a fucking schoolbook yearbook photo or whatever. 3-year-old? I should have said 13-year-old, but instead I went for 3-year-old. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. This goes back into my fucking debate about neoliberals. And that Twitch is Amazon. Like, no one knows that. Twitch fucking is owned by Amazon. Like, what the fuck? How do... I mean, I guess people know that, but they don't process it. You know, like, they don't process. Wait a second. Amazon owns Twitch. Wait a second. That's weird. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking weird. Why the fuck does Amazon own fucking Twitch? Why? Why would anyone let that happen? I don't understand. Do they own IMDb? I didn't know that. That's epic. Why do they own IMDb? That's fucking weird. Doesn't that bother you? That's fucking strange. Why the fuck do they do that? Because it's all about control? It's all about branching out, expanding your roots? That's all that it's about? Capitalism in a fucking nutshell? I don't know. I'm optimistic. I think we can change this. You know, by 2050, I would say that we should have everything on a good roll. I would hope. Because, like, I feel like if shit continues at the pace that it is currently, in the sense of, like, you know, oligarchy, monopolies, fascism, like 2050 we're dead, like as a race of people. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. Like, look at like the chart of like the inequality that's happened in like America and like just globally as well. Like, look at the fucking, like, rate of, like, say, the minimum wage versus, like, the rise in productivity. Like, look at that and just imagine, like, adding on another 20, 30 years to that fucking graph without any changes. I mean, if you take the opposite view, I don't know how you haven't killed yourself yet. Like, just asking a question, like, how? I don't know. I don't understand. I'm literally ollieing over the bum and nothing's happening. Finally, I got it. I want to see what happens. That's fair. I mean, like, might as well, you know? Might as well. I know they own Washington Post. I heard about that. Just a reminder that there is percentage-wise, like, a lot of the world that does not have access to the internet. Imagine that. Like, if we expand internet access globally, just think of the shit that can happen. Six score. Doesn't like some sort of Saudi Arabian fucking prince have like the most like singular out of like singular people Twitter stock? I mean, UK is a good case, but I mean, nothing beats Fox News in America. I'm sorry. We got this shit on lock. Fox News in America is the most adept brainwashing mechanism and complex that's ever existed in human history, without a doubt. Where the fuck are the last bucks? Ah, here. And yeah, like I said, it is very scary. Like, it is so fucking easy to be stupid as fuck. Like, I was stupid as fuck for like 20 years. But like, it's so easy to just be stupid as fuck. It's scary how easy it is. To just like, never go outside the fucking echo chamber. Just be stupid as fuck in the right ways. For real though? Like, okay, imagine like you're a Ben Shapiro fan. Like, and you watch his podcast on a daily basis, and every single day he's saying Ilhan Omar is an anti-Semite. Ilhan Omar wants to kill all Jews. Ilhan Omar is evil. She's evil. We need to get rid of her. We need to stop her. She's evil. And like, you just do no like independent research whatsoever. Like, imagine that, except like they actually exist, and there's like literally thousands of those people. Like, ugh, it's fucking scary. Like, think about it in the perspective of watching my stream, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I talk about that you kinda can remember. Like, say I'm giving commentary about like Mega Man X6. Like, I'm sure there's like a lot of key proponents that you remember, but you don't like do independent. It's not like you're watching every other runner and then like studying everything by frame. Like, you don't like actually have a good frame of reference. You're just trusting my judgment on commentary. Now obviously I'm not lying about Mega Man X6, but like, imagine if I were. Like, let's look at speedrunning as like kind of an easy way for people to maybe understand this. Like, look at Caleb Hart and the fact that he lied about having the Mega Man X2 world record for multiple years and just got away with it. Like, there's people out there that still think he was like the greatest Mega Man X2 speedrunner for like multiple years straight. It's like these people don't do independent research. They just listen to things and don't. And that's the thing, is they don't actually listen. They hear things. You know the phrase like goes one in and out the other or whatever? In one ear and out the other? That's what I'm talking about. Like, they don't actually listen to the words, because if they listened to a lot of the words, like, they would know that a lot of this shit is bullshit. They just hear it over and over and over again and don't actually think about it. And that's how NPCs work. That's why you have people like fucking that guy that shoots up a fucking, or like, was this the car one? The guy who like ran over a bunch of people with a car, and then in Canada, and then whoops, Ben Shapiro is his favorite Twitterer. Like that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason there's these through lines that exist. Exactly, Mr. Cool Ice. Exactly. And there's no problem with that. But like, I mean, there is a problem with that. But like, inherently speaking, you can use that, but from a good perspective. Like, that's the problem. We don't have a good, like, very, and that's, it all comes down to money, is that the right has money. Like, there's so many great left-wing programs, it's just they don't have money, and thus no one knows who they are. That's all it is. It's all about money. Money, fucking money, fucking money. Nothing but fucking money with these people. Money, money, money. Look at me, I love money. I'm gonna buy some money with my money. If you're ever interested in really, really good comedy, I recommend going to Rage Against the Machine videos on YouTube and reading the comments and looking for the people who didn't know that they were a commie band and just realizing it for the first time. That shit's really funny. And I'm going to tell you why it's funny. So, there's a lot of people that say would listen to music or hear music and like it, but not actually listen to it. Like, not actually really listen to the lyrics and thus don't know that Rage Against the Machine is a communist band. So it's like, and then they like grow up and then spend a few years like listening to Ben Shapiro shit, and then like they hear the buzzwords in like Rage Against the Machine songs. So then they like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to this song I used to listen to when I was younger. Oh my god, they're commies! Like, oof. Whoa. Hello? Am I streaming? Is that a power flicker? Did anyone see that? Am I streaming? Hello? Am I live? That was weird. One of my monitors turned off. Strange. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so then people get programmed to listen for buzzwords, and then you'll see comments on YouTube going like, ah, they're commies! Ah! Like that kind of shit. I don't know, that's really entertaining. YouTube comments, I mean, most people just write them off, and honestly, I agree for the most part. But, like, I don't know, it's important to kind of listen to that stuff. That's the thing with socialism in the United States, is that socialism, people don't know what socialism means. They just associate socialism with, like, it's like literally like a PTSD kind of thing, in the sense that they hear socialism, and they've been programmed into thinking socialism equals starving, equals, like, all these things that have nothing to do with socialism. Like, they just associate it with it, because they don't actually listen to descriptions of socialism. They just hear socialism, and then, like, hear other talking points associated with them. So then whenever they hear the word socialism, their brain automatically is triggered into thinking, oh shit, this guy is advocating for, I don't know, fucking stealing my money. Me, I work at McDonald's. They're gonna steal all my money. The commies are gonna steal my money? Like, you know? Like when you it's so weird because like imagine like being afraid of the word community. Like imagine seeing the word community and getting triggered and going like, oh no, it's a community! Collectivists! Oh! Oh my god, the community! Ah, the community! Oh my god! But it's like communism and community. Like, hello? Like, they sound similar for a fucking reason. Communication. Do you ever hear, like, this is an incel thing for incels out there? Like, a lot of incels don't understand what communication is, and they think that, like, women should be subservient creatures and that kind of stuff. But it's like, good relationships are all about communicating with each other. And, like, communication is good. That's why whenever you see relationship advice, people generally will say, communicate, communicate. Why? Because communication is good. You know what word kind of sounds like communication? Communism. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it for you. That's what I mean by, like, the right being experts at crafting that kind of, like, media narrative. Like, how the fuck can you hear socialism and not think, like, worker co-ops, like, democratizing the workplace, like, we should all have a say, socialize? Like, people even say the word socialize in these contexts, like, oh, they want to socialize medicine. Socialize! Hello, socialize! Like, why would you be afraid of socializing? Do you have social anxiety? And I'm not trying to downplay social anxiety, of course. I have a lot of social anxieties, but it's like, socialize, hello? What is this weird, like, the thing about capitalism is it's like a religion. Like, these people think, like, Jeff Bezos is, like, somehow, like, a magical super fairy who's gonna save the universe. You know what I mean? That's a fucking religion. Like, no, we should all work together and help each other. It's not that fucking hard. Like, it is literally easy mode. If you disagree, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Just fuck me.
I don't want to communicate. I'm an individualist. I'm such an individualist that I regret learning English because it makes life so hard knowing that I can just listen to things and know what they mean. I'm gonna have a child and never speak around them so they will never learn language because I'm an individualist.
Like, imagine, and like, people actually think that they're individualists.
Oh, I'm an individualist. I don't believe in the collective.
Like, bitch, what language are you speaking, motherfucker? Did you invent English? I don't think so. Hello? Like, what the fuck?
I'm an individualist. Look how alone and individual I am. I'm powerful. I can do everything myself. I'm an individualist. Whee!
Anytime I hear the word individualist, I can't help but just think this person is fucking, like, I don't know. I've got a little cognitive dissonance, to be honest. Like, part of me just wants to say fuck it and just make fun of them totally. Then I just can't help but stipulate that these people are just taken advantage of, because they are. They're just so fucking taken advantage of. And it's sad. God, I love lip tricks in this game. They're so fucking good. That one worked. Weird. Definition of commie. Communism is to work together to achieve common goals. Common goals usually being live. Generally everyone wants to live. If we work together on living, things are going to be a lot easier. I guess I already got that one. Of course. Get the grind instead of the lip, because it's a good fucking game. By the way, if you ever have any family members that have shitty jobs, the best way to force them into communism is by explaining how to democratize the workplace. Like, isn't it fucking weird that you go to work every day for 40 fucking years and you have no say in any capacity as to what you do? Isn't it weird that there's like a managerial class that just like, somehow you just can't get there over 40 fucking years of busting your fucking ass at work? Just can't get to that manager position. Isn't that fucking weird? Wouldn't it be cool if you all could just like group together? Because we have the internet. It's not like, you know, the privileged few that have access to information in a lot of these cases, you know? Like, we're talking about shit like, you know, America, like Europe, you know? It's not like there's a divide there. Like, Google how to get this shit done, work together, and get it done. You don't need Jeff Bezos to do things. Why the fuck do you need Jeff Bezos to do your job? Why does Jeff Bezos take 70% of your profit? The work that you produce and the value that your work creates, why does he take 70 or 80% of it? Isn't that weird? That's fucking strange. He's sitting on his fucking ass and making 80% of your fucking, like, money? That's fucking wild. Isn't that really fucking weird? That's strange. I like how you're just not gonna bother. I appreciate that. Just a reminder that I have the world record for Tony Hawk 3 on PS1. I am the best in the world. Also a reminder, if you pretend to have a world record and you have no record of it, it is not a world record, it is a world. You do not have a world record. So, just a reminder.
Play a real version.
God, I fucking hate this thing. I hate lip tricks. I hate fucking lip tricks. They're so bad. Hello, Shad Juice. Do you want to play horse? Oh my god, help. Help! Help! Imagine playing Tony Hawk as a kid and not being a communist. Like, unironically. Like, can we talk about this? Like, a series that has, like, Rage Against the Machine and Public Enemy in their discography. Like, imagine fucking playing Tony Hawk and not being a communist. Like, holy shit. I can't. It's fucking wild. Yay, I did it! Alright, so now I just need to do the 6th score. How is that not a gap? That was fucking sick. How is that not a gap? This game sucks. I'm doing shit that the fucking programmers couldn't even think of right now. That's how good I am. Like, think about that. Like, these should totally be gaps, but like the programmers were like, no one would ever be able to pull this off, so let's not even bother. Like, that's how fucking good I am. I'm just sandbagging. I don't want to show off too much, so might as well throw a bale in there. I don't want to show off my superhuman skills that much. I've tried jerking off with my left hand, but like, honestly, it's too hard. So I just shove shit up my ass instead. It's more fun. Epic. I hate this fucking level. This level's so bad.
What's going on here? You got the system for total control. Now is it
I'm epic. Epic. Just a reminder that Oliver North, one of the worst people to ever exist ever. And they named a fucking skateboarding trick after him. Unreal. Honestly, I feel bad for like straight men who like are afraid of like being gay, so like they don't experience like anal pleasure. Like honestly, I feel bad for y'all. Like I can understand why a lot of like straight incels are as mad as they are, because like if your only like way of getting off is by like fucking a woman in like missionary position, like God, that's boring. Like holy fuck, that's so boring. Like Jesus Christ, we are human beings, not fucking like dogs. Human beings have like gigantic cocks for a fucking reason. It's because sex is fun. Live a little. Stop. Stop it. Stop. I don't know. When you're analyzing right-wing ideology, you want to analyze it as far back as it goes. Like, how the fuck did we get into a world where like women were like enslaved in a lot of societies? Like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, imagine being so fucking like so much of a loser that the only way you can get a woman is by enslaving them? Gross. Why did we let these people procreate? No wonder everything's so fucked up. We let a bunch of stupid fucks procreate. God, religious fucking, like, the things that people do, like the Christian, like, you can only have sex after marriage and only for procreation. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Ugh. Bunch of fucking weirdos. You're fucking lame? I'm sorry? That's fucking lame? You're lame? Experiment? buy some dildos, get some chains, get some ankle braces, have fun, live a little. See, this is a problem in sex, is that, like, women are viewed way too objectively. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many straight men that would never think, like, maybe I would enjoy spanking. You know what I mean? Maybe I would enjoy getting fucking rammed. Just because, like, women are just culturally fucking subjugated to that role. And it's like, there is so much on a male body to have fun with. Like, Jesus Christ, live a little? Like, for real? For real, though? Like, you will unironically be a happier person. Like, I'm not joking. Like, buy a dildo and fuck your ass. You will be a happier person. Guaranteed. Though be safe, don't get a huge one. You don't want to hurt yourself. Start small. By the way, this is going to be the end of the stream whenever I beat this shit fast. By the way, I have an announcement. So, hear me out here and let me know what you think. This is not an announcement. This is a suggestion, and I want input. So, I recently found out that Pete Dorr did a speedrun of LSD on console. And it's the only run on console. I was originally going to do this when I first got the game, but then I just, you know, gave up. So I have the idea to beat his run. And the thing is, like, this guy is kind of popular, so like I'm planning a grift here. So I want like some feedback. Is this a good idea? What do y'all think? We're in the plotting stages. Now keep in mind the run is about like 4 hours. Keep that in mind. Dude, Mr. Tight White, I get it. You're fucking lame and you're propagandized. Live a little. Have fun. Needs pre-hyping. Well, I mean, it would take me a little bit, because his run looks pretty good, so it's not like I'm going to beat it in one try. You know? The way I see it, I can just attempt a few runs, like maybe 2 or 3 a week, until I get close, and then, from that point, we'll see. Yeah, the way I see it is like, if an already popular... The thing that has me going here, Mr. Cool Ice, is that like, in his like run description, he says he wants to do better. So it's like... I don't know. I feel like it's definitely possible to leech a little bit here. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Because I might start LSD runs. If I can get to like Tony 2 in like 40 minutes or something and these double dips aren't that long, I might start this week. Like if I can I would love to be able to consistently 100% this in like 40 minutes. That's kind of like my baseline here. Like that's a goal. 40 minute like ish. That'd be cool. As short or shorter than Tony 3. Oh, I'm not talking about that. The thing is, Pete Dorr is a YouTuber. That's how I recognize the name. Like, I was looking at the LSD boards for potential cringe, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? So he's a YouTuber. He's like some weird retro game unboxing guy. I don't know. I've never watched the guy's videos, I've just heard of him. But YouTubers that stream on Twitch, I mean, like, there's no issue there. As far as planning a grift goes. Whoa, 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 are you insulting Unboxed Tonight? My hit franchise? Fucking cringe. Yours are well, they are epic, that is true. I think unboxing channels is fun in the sense of like it can be done well. I just genuinely don't like that critique in any capacity, to be honest. Cause like we live in a world where like there's like $10,000 video games, you know, like not everyone can own this stuff. If there's a video that details every little tidbit of how that game like was packaged, I find that useful information. Similar to like a Wikipedia thing. Though I wish it wasn't so personalized. I wish more people would document things in a more professional manner, or at least do both or whatever, you know, but either way, I think documenting a lot of that stuff is good. Yay! Cringe? I could never figure out what ASMR was, so I gave up. Though, you can consider my new sandwich series to be an extension of that. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna give you a scoop. So, you know how I've always said I like to idle in gamer discords? So, I created this epic fucking, like, literal fake news of, like, something that just looks like some racist statistic, and I posted it in the politics channel of this gamer discord, and as expected, everyone's like, oh, wow, proof, yay, true facts, I hate black people, and it's just like, God, I love gamers. I love gamers. They're just so fucking funny. Ugh, they're so fucking funny. Why are they so stupid, honestly? My lord. Anyway. See ya.